let's go right ahead. Let's go ahead and talk about all of these games. Now, I should note the teams that have a bye week in week 11. So the Cardinals aren't going to be playing, neither are the Panthers. The Giants, thank the Lord, aren't playing, and the Bucks are also not playing. So these are the teams. They all have a bye week in week 11. And so let's go ahead and dive right into this to these predictions. So for the first game that's on this list, we have the Packers going up against the Bears. I think this is a pretty easy pick. The Packers, not only are they a better team than the Bears, in my opinion, but they just seem to always, I kid you not, always beat the Bears. It doesn't matter how badly they've been playing throughout the previous weeks. It doesn't matter who they have at quarterback. It genuinely does not matter. They will always, always stomp on the Bears, and they will always end up beating them. And I think this game is no exception to that rule. It's one of those things that's almost guaranteed every single year in the NFL. It's like the Bears, they always lose to the Packers. It's the same thing with, like, the Giants always losing to the Cowboys or the Giants always losing to the Eagles. It's like it's the same sort of principle. Like we all completely expect this to happen. So I'm picking the Packers in this one. Not only that, they're also 5.5-point favorites in this matchup. The Bears do play at home, but again, that doesn't really matter. The Packers are easily going to beat the Bears, in my opinion. Next game on this list, we have the Rams going up against the Patriots. They also play at 1 o'clock. And, I mean, the Patriots, they are not a very good team. I will say that Drake May is a very, very good bright spot for this team. And I really, really wish they would have started him at the start of the season, rather than starting Jacoby Brissett at the start of the season, because they've essentially ruined their whole season by starting Jacoby Brissett. And I totally understand the logic behind it. You don't want to get Drake May injured behind that horrendous O-line. But at the end of the day, Drake May has shown that the Pats seem to be a lot more successful with him under center. I mean, they completely destroyed the Bears 19-3. They almost won against the Titans if it wasn't for the overtime. And then they also ended up beating the Jets the week prior in week 8. So, they're not really that solid of a team. I think the Rams, despite the fact that a lot of the players are injured, they're going to be rather solid against the Patriots, and there's nothing that the Patriots will be able to do to stop them. That's my opinion. Now, the next team on going up against each other, the next game, is the Browns going up against the Saints. Now, the Saints, they're a very, very tricky team. Same with the Browns. I mean, the way I see it, the Browns, it's like you either get good Jameis Winston or you get bad Jameis Winston. And there's really no in between with him. So I have no idea exactly how well he's going to play. I also don't know how well Derek Carr is going to play. In fact, I read online, someone said that Derek Carr is a phenomenal loser, which is honestly the most accurate thing you could say about Derek Carr. He would have these games where he looks absolutely amazing, and then he'll have these games where he puts up absolute stinkers. And similar to the Browns with Jameis Winston, I have no idea which one of it is going to be. So this is a really, really difficult prediction for me to make. I'm going to go with the Saints on this one, mainly because I just don't believe in the Browns, and I don't think the Browns really have it in them to get many more wins. I really don't. But again, maybe they'll get good Jameis Winston in this night. I mean, they did somehow beat the Ravens. Again, somehow. It was a miracle that they ended up winning. But again, this is the Browns. They're one of the worst teams in the NFL. I don't expect them to win against the Saints. But again, we could also end up getting bad Derek Carr in this matchup and just completely messing up the predictions entirely. Next game on this matchup, and the next game that's happening at 1 o'clock, is the Dolphins going up against the Raiders. And the Dolphins, they're going to have home field advantage. They also, I believe they're going to have Tua Tagovailoa. I have no idea whether or not he's going to get injured in this game. For some reason, he really, really likes diving head first. Noticed, if you guys watched the previous game that the Dolphins played against the Rams, he literally tried to tackle somebody with his head, which was absolutely ridiculous. I was scared for his life, but I think the Dolphins are going to end up coming out on top. The Raiders, they're not a competent team. They're just not it, and I don't really think that the Raiders are going to pull off a win against the Dolphins. And next game on this list, the Lions, they're going up against the Jags. Now they don't have Trevor Lawrence, so that means they're probably going to have to put up with Mac Jones. And I think the Jaguars' season, and I think they've realized that their season is already lost. So I think the Lions are easily going to come out and win this game. The Lions play at home in this matchup. I don't think it's nearly going to be as bad as the previous game that they played. Now, assuming Jared Goff doesn't turn into Jared Goof, this should be an easy win for the Lions. Next matchup, the Vikings against the Titans. The Vikings, I feel like they're going to win. Regardless of how bad Sam Darnold plays, they somehow end up winning the game in the end. They have fantastic skill players around almost all of the positions. I mean, we all know Jay Jettas. He is absolutely insane, and I doubt he's going to slow down anytime soon, especially against the Titans. Next is the Ravens and the Steelers. This is going to be a very, very competitive game. This is also, I believe, a fight for their division standings, by the way. Yes, the Steelers, right now, they're ranked number 1. If they can beat the Ravens, then they can hold on to that number 1 spot in the AFC North. But I have faith in Lamar Jackson. I have faith in Lamar Jackson in the regular season. This regular season that he's producing is, without a doubt, in my opinion, an MVP caliber season. I believe he's going to finish this season with the MVP. With the help of Derrick Henry against the Steelers, I think the Ravens are going to come out on top. This is going to be a very, very good game. Probably the best game at 1 o'clock, to be honest. And then there's the Jets going up against the Colts. Now, Anthony Richardson was renamed the starter, so I believe now they have a much better of a chance to go up against the Jets. I don't know. I really don't know. Like, the Jets, they've been playing absolutely abysmal, but I think they're due for a good game. But I really want to pick the Jets. I really do. But I have no idea which one. Like, my heart is saying pick the Jets, but my brain is saying pick the Colts. So it's like I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm just going to pick the Colts. I don't think I trust the Jets enough to do that. Next matchup is the Falcons going up against the Broncos. Now, I actually think that the Falcons are going to end up losing this matchup to the Broncos. For some reason, I just have a feeling. Kirk Cousins, he can never, ever, ever stray too far from having a 500 record. Can never stray too far. And right now he's 2 games positive. So I don't see the Falcons winning against the Broncos in this matchup. I'm picking the Broncos. Next is the 49ers. They're going up against the Seahawks. The Seahawks have a really, really bad defense. CJ McCaffrey is back for the 49ers, and I think he's just going to run all over them. I'm not sure if it's going to be a blowout, but at the same time, Geno Smith has not really been playing that well. He's thrown 11 touchdowns, but also has thrown 10 interceptions. So I think the 49ers are easily going to win this one. Next is the Chiefs against the Bills. This game is probably the best game at 4 o'clock, like at around 4:25. So this game is going to determine whether or not Josh Allen actually has a chance of winning the MVP. If Josh Allen loses this game, I think he's completely out of the MVP race. If he wins this game, then his odds for winning the MVP this year are going to skyrocket, maybe even more so if Lamar Jackson ends up losing in the matchup against the Steelers. So this game is very, very important for Josh Allen. He plays at home. He's going up against the undefeated Chiefs. He has a chance to stop the Chiefs from winning games right here and right now, and now he has to perform. But I'm going to go with the Chiefs just because Patrick Mahomes, I understand he's not really playing all that well, but the Chiefs, they find a way to win in every single game that they played. It doesn't matter how bad they're playing. It doesn't matter what leads up to what events. They somehow find a way to win. And I think that trend is going to continue on, despite the fact that the Bills are an incredibly competent team. But this game is very important for Josh Allen. Next is the Bengals going up against the Chargers. Now, the Chargers, they're going to play at home. My gut is telling me to pick the Bengals because I don't really have that much faith in the Chargers and their offensive capabilities in this matchup. So I'm going to go on a limb and I'm going to go ahead and pick the Bengals. And Last, but certainly not least, well, actually, definitely least, is Dallas going up against the Texans. Now, Dallas is going to lose. I think the Texans are going to easily win this. There's no way that the Dallas Cowboys are going to be able to win with the quarterback situation that they have. Assuming CJ Stroud does not put up a stinker in this matchup, I think the Texans easily have this one in the bag. The Cowboys, they're playing at home, but lucky for the Texans, the Cowboys have yet to win a game at home. In fact, funny stat, they are the only team in the NFL that has not gotten a home win this year. Not this season, this entire year. Even the Giants were able to win in the year of 2024. Not the Cowboys. So all luck is going against Dallas in this matchup, and I think the Texans are easily going to end up winning this game against Dallas. But we'll see how it goes. And I kid you not, if I hear some Cowboys fans saying, this is our year, we're going to the Super Bowl, I'm going to effectively lose it. So that's all that I have on these predictions for today. So now we're going to go ahead and go into the third segment where I do a quick NBA recap. It's going to be very, very quick because there was only one game to talk about. And then we're going to go into my predictions for the NBA in-season tournament matchups that are happening later tonight. So I'll be right back after this short break. Be sure to stay tuned.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube absolutely free. Search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube right now.